Okay, here we go. We've got Jeremy versus Greg. Jeremy with Tyranitar, Milotic, Aegislash, Excadrill, Mega Garchomp, and Darmanitan coming in against Greg's team of Volcanion, Mega Venusaur, Donphan, Skarmory, Licky, and Haxorus. Now, we haven't really seen Darmanitan from Jeremy yet, so this is going to be a new Pokemon for him to be using, and Greg's recently picked up Licky. And it's going to be pretty fascinating, I think, to see just what happens between these two players. Jeremy kind of losing a couple battles with his Sand team, sort of showing some of the exploits of having a team that's super weak to water and grass and fighting, as opposed to what we saw earlier with Jeff's water team. So water kind of only really has two weaknesses in grass and electric, but the ground and rock type moves that benefit from sand have a lot stronger, more prominent weaknesses. Greg having Donphan with Earthquake, Volcanion with Steam Eruption, Mega Venusaur with grass type moves, gonna be pretty good. I'm curious to see what Licky has in store for it. I don't actually know what you use that Pokemon for and what you do with it. I'm pretty excited. Darmanitan with the opener, not what you want to see. The last game we saw of Greg was Greg versus Jake, and Jake also opened with a fire type Pokemon. We can almost certainly expect Steam Eruption to come out of Volcanion. Probably the easiest switch of your life into Milotic. Instead, Jeremy stays in for the Rock Slide. Rock Slide misses. Big oof. And Greg's in a fantastic spot already. I don't know why he did this. This is the second time. I think Greg's paying people to send in fire starters first and then not switch out to a Pokemon that's not weak to water. Stone Edge comes in. Jeremy thought that the Rock Slide was going to hit, and if it did, it would have one-shot Volcanion, which is really good. Unfortunately, it missed because it is a Rock-type move and probably not going to be very effective. Sunny Day came in from Volcanion to get rid of Sand, and now we're probably going to see the Aegislash or Milotic switch. Jeremy kind of a little irritated. Can't blame him that he did in fact miss. Oh, well, he's been missing a lot of rock slides. A lot of rock moves have been missing this season. Licky coming out. It's on Cloud 9. It ignores some of the weather effects. But Aegislash also being able to boost up. Greg was a little bit afraid for his Haxorus. He ends up Dragon Dancing and boosting back. But another Swords Dance coming out for Aegislash. Curse now happening on Licky, who gets a boost in defense, a boost in attack, but a reduction in speed. And now Skarmory comes out as Ironhead shows up and does actually some serious numbers on Skarmory, which is pretty interesting. Greg did spend the last two turns kind of buffing up Pokemon he didn't keep. But now we have a ×3 attack Aegislash, Protect coming out, and King Shield coming out from Aegislash. Swords Dance again. Bold. Jeremy probably not watching the VODs. I was expecting Greg to do a Hurricane or Roar, whatever, Whirlwind or Roar, whenever, because Greg's been using that on Skarmory a lot and switching out Pokemon. Big oof on the Toxic missing. Aegislash coming back. Roost now coming down. Unfortunately, we had an Aegislash with 4 times attack. And now it's back to being nothing. Sword Stance change, Shadow Sneak coming through. Roar being used to switch into Mega Garchomp. We've seen 3 moves already from Skarmory. We've seen all 4 of its moves. Roar, Toxic, Roost, and Protect. Probably not a lot going on in its way. Stone Edge finally getting a hit, and Garchomp is now Toxic. It's about to lose some more HP next turn. Sword Stance going up. Roost coming in from Skarmory. And Garchomp probably totally fine being able to get Another hit. Oh my god, Stone's Edge missing. Aegislash brought back out. Greg now in this game of constantly using Toxic and roaring. He roars out Tyranitar, which is actually pretty good. I can't imagine Jeremy wanting to keep Tyranitar in, but in comes Mega Garchomp, eats the Toxic. Very good read from Jeremy, assuming Greg's plan is to really just get every Pokemon Toxic. Protect eats the Stone Edge. Big oof. Jeremy missed 2 Rock-type moves already, but it's the price to pay when you run Rock. Darmanitan being taken out is actually really good for Greg, but now Skarmory is weak to Earthquake. It's grounded. Probably seeing Stab Earthquake from Garchomp coming in. Right? Because it's not flying? Or is it only lose flying for that one turn? Dragon Claw eats it. Ugh, I gotta feel... It's kind of a little brutal that Jeremy wasn't constantly using Dragon Claw. It might have been a little bit better than... oh, it got resisted. That's why I wasn't using Dragon Claw. Nah, fair enough. Mega Garchomp now down for the count. It looks like Skarmory stall potential really good. A little bit of an oof with only one Pokemon from Jeremy's team really having the answer. Oh, no, Tyranitar. This is interesting. If Tyranitar had Fire Punch the entire time, you feel like Tyranitar should have come out earlier. But Jeremy only tried to switch to Tyranitar once. But now the stall begins. Fire Punch, into Fire Punch, into Fire Punch, and inevitably all these Pokemon are going to go down with the hardest hitting Pokemon that you could have brought out to handle Skarmory was going to be Darmanitan, but big rip that Darmanitan is in fact dead. Died turn 1. How many roosts are left? 10 roosts. We got 10 roosts and 11 protects left of Skarmory, and Skarmory already took out Garchomp and dealt massive damage to Tyranitar. So it's not, I say massive, but I mean Tyranitar is toxic, and it's effectively at, what, 57 HP? Ironhead comes out, almost destroys Mega Venusaur. You got to assume that there's just going to be another Ironhead coming out. Venusaur is not Mega yet. Excadrill is an incredibly fast Pokemon. Probably going to outspeed Mega Venusaur. So now Greg's thinking. He probably wasn't expecting, I mean, I wasn't expecting Venusaur to get absolutely slapped down. Skarmory comes out. Great switch from Jeremy to get Excadrill out of there. Swords Dance. Roar being used. Excadrill is back in the ring. You can really tell, I feel like Greg's got a really good mastery with Skarmory. He's been using Skarmory very effectively. Protecting at the right time, roaring at the right time, you know. A pretty reasonable play, but now I wonder how many roars Greg has left. Oh my god, so many. 26. Ironhead being used, critted. Shadow Sneak coming out, another roar. Skarmory back up, roosting. Unfortunately, Jeremy probably going to get stalled out here. Yeah, it is sort of a big problem with having a team like this. And Jeremy was smart to bring 2 Fire-type moves to answer Skarmory, but Skarmory was just too bulky for Tyranitar to get through. Refresh coming out. Another Ice-type move. Maybe Jeremy can get lucky and get a freeze. Into Venusaur. Refresh coming out. Ugh, bold. You kind of had to assume for Jeremy whether or not Skarmory was going to protect or going to roar or switch or anything. So Skarmory, really dangerous Pokemon to keep in there. Earth Power comes out, not good enough. Iron Head to kill Mega Venusaur. Now both players are down 2 Pokemon, but Jeremy's bleeding. He's got a 63% Tyranitar and a 31% Aegislash. Going up against 3 full HP Pokemon and Greg's Stall Pokemon that's still got like another 10 turns of Stall in it. Earthquake, easy takedown of Aegislash now that its bubble has been removed. Yeah. Really brutal. Now what do we do here? Iron Head flinched. Oh my gosh. Iron Head did 43% damage. You can probably assume Jeremy's going to... I think it's actually choice, so it doesn't matter. Iron Head probably coming back in again for Excadrill. Most likely going to hit the Skarmory. Yep, fair enough. Yep, Jeremy totally okay keeping it in here. Another Roost. It's landed. How many more Iron Heads are left? 17 Iron Heads. Greg's got 15 turns of protecting against Iron Heads. 14 turns. So he can stall out the Iron Head, but instead he chooses to roar into Milotic. Ice Beam coming out. Toxic happening. I think you go for Ice Beam again. Yes. Fantastic. A crit coming. Roost coming out. Yeah, only taking 12 damage this turn I think is totally fine. Ice Beam's got 10 turns left. And Iron Head's got 14. And Greg's got 13 turns of not doing stuff. Ice Beam coming out. Again, Licky Licky's sitting here at 94 to 218 speed. Oh, this is a, kind of seems like a little bit of a jump. Refresh being used. Rest then being used on Licky Licky. Both stall. I guess another stall Pokemon coming out. However, Licky Licky is susceptible to Toxic. I guess it has Rest. And Milotic's Rest misses. But Licky Licky is asleep. So not a... Oh, I guess it misses because he is asleep. Yeah, Sandstorm. Licky Licky will not be affected by Sandstorm because of its Cloud 9 ability. It ends up getting its Curse off. Almost perfect timing. Tyranitar now at 12%. Stone Edge coming in, not going to be able to do enough. It will be taken out by the Earthquake. Excadrill probably coming in now. Iron Head most likely going to come out just because Greg can switch into Skarmory and completely ignore Earthquake. Yeah, I don't know. There's probably, hopefully there's two other moves on Excadrill that are good. But in comes Skarmory to dodge the Earthquake, yeah. And now you have to switch to Milotic, so Greg can get a free Toxic in or a free Roost. But he is running out of stall. This Skarmory was definitely MVP, for sure. Greg missing a Toxic as well. Ice Beam coming out. Toxic being used. Fair enough. Only 7 Ice Beams left. Only 7 Protects left and 4 Roosts. 3 Roosts. Skarmory can only heal itself 3 more times. Yeah, I don't know. This is a long game. But this metal bird's doing work. It's gonna run Milotic out of Ice Beams. It's only got 5 remaining. But Skarmory also has 0 attacking moves. I'm gonna be honest, if I'm Jeremy, I refresh, and instead of using Ice Beam, I use the other move. Cloud9 comes out, refresh. Return coming in, but now Licky Licky is toxic, but it does have rest, so it's not great. Hopefully there is another move on Milotic that deals damage that isn't just Ice Beam. In comes Excadrill. Eats the Earthquake. Greg now gets a free switch into Skarmory. Right? This is kind of a little bit of a mind game, but he switches into Skarmory. Hopefully, Jeremy keeps him in. I think that's the easiest switch. I was about to say the mind game would be, does Jeremy switch into Milotic or not? But he does, and he probably is going to refresh. Skarmory cannot deal any damage. In comes Licky Licky. Recover coming in. Oh, Milotic can't deal any damage either. Excadrill coming out. Licky Licky asleep. Iron Head most likely being the move that comes out from Jeremy. Yeah. Not good enough. Iron Head did deal 45% damage. Probably, it's going to be another Iron Head guaranteed. Taking him down. And then Jeremy just might keep in Iron Head. Greg has 6 protects. He only has 1 Roost left. Jeremy can just Iron Head 10 more times, and that Skarmory is out of commission. Good crit from Jeremy. A flinch. Iron Heads again. That's the last Roost. Greg is now out of Roosts. In comes Protect. Jeremy has 8 Iron Heads left. Greg has 4 Protects left. That have to get him through 10 damage moves. In comes Donphan. Donphan about to Earthquake Excadrill. Is this one Iron Head move from Excadrill going to be enough to one-shot Donphan? I don't know. You could probably just switch in Milotic. Or Milotic, whatever. Iron Head crit! Down goes Excadrill. There's no way it survives an Earthquake. Yeah. Bold that Jeremy kept him in. I guess inevitably he was going to have to deal with him, but Ice Beam. There's only 3 Ice Beams left. Outrage goes first. Ice Beam, super effective, and it's over. Oh, we got the Frozen, but the Berry de-thaws him The one thing that could have saved Jeremy in the game happened. And that's insane. It's over. GG. Really cool tech. Kind of unfortunate the game went the way it did with misses on the rock slide in the opening. Kind of a big gambit, for being honest, to sacrifice Darmanitan as early as he did. But it is a gambit. I don't think it's a misplay. Because Volcanion is water type, and it seriously could hurt the team, and it could be a really big deal to get it out of the way, and Skarmory probably wasn't the biggest threat in Jeremy's mind. He thought it could, he thought that maybe he could handle the Skarmory with the Fire Punch from the Tyranitar and the Darmanitan. But, you know, it is what it is. Alright, GG's.